Jones, and this is the introduction to the new boat build. Couple details: it's going in the bed of my truck. It's not going to be trailered. It's going to be a load and launch boat. It's going to be an ultralight, and it's also a 12-footer, guys. 12-foot ultralight load and launch into the bed, into the water. That's how we're doing it on this one. Any suggestions, leave them down below. Guys, this is the introduction to the boat build. So this will be video 1 in its own playlist dedicated specifically to this boat. I'm going to do it just like a book. So this is the introduction, and we're just going to have chapters, and each chapter is going to cover a portion of the build, and I'm going to document everything on this as best as I can. Some things I'm going to go into much detail on. Other things that I've kind of already done videos on the original boat, I might not go into as much detail, but I'll still cover it in the video series. So that's how we're going to do it on this one. I hope that you're excited. I'm excited. I'll tell you, after fishing out of the Top Gun John boat for about 2 months now and taking my family out on it and just using it and enjoying it, I'm actually itching to get started fabricating again and building something new. So it's time to get busy. It's time to grind, guys. So subscribe to the channel if you've yet to do so, because the content is going to come on this build. And also, if you've yet to follow me on Instagram, follow me there. Lots of stuff happening on my Instagram. It's at ADubJones. That is it for now. I hope that you enjoy this video. I'm going to show you what the boat's condition is in, and then give you a kind of the scope of work, how I plan on attacking it, and then what's to come without giving away all the surprises. Thanks again, guys, and as always, may your tiny boat builds be great. Okay, guys, here she is in all of her glory. Let's take an up close and personal look at the boat, and I will show you some of the issues and some of the things that I plan on addressing and how I'm going to do it. I have 3 goals for the build, and number 1 is lightweight construction. I want this boat to be as light as possible, but also within reason. There's going to be pros and cons to every mod, and I'll get into that later in the build. Number 2, this boat will be mobile and versatile. What I mean by that is it will be easily transported in the bed of my truck to any location I'd like to fish it, and it will run an electric motor or a gas burning motor. Lastly, I like to use new build materials and techniques on this boat completely different from my first boat build. Also, I'd like to continue to push the envelope and think outside the box with my color schematics and theme of the boat. Okay guys, first things first, I want to explain very quickly one of the reasons I bought this boat. When I was searching for a boat, I was looking for a specific size, 10 to 12 foot, and something to go in the bed of my truck. And I was also looking for a boat in a specific condition and a specific price point. So what condition I mean is, I wanted a boat that was faded out. I did not want a boat that had already had work done to it, because that would be more stuff to rip out. I did not want a boat that had already been painted, because that would be paint to sand and strip. I just wanted a John boat that looked like somebody had at their farm or left in their yard for a long time. And that's kind of what this is. You'll notice there's barely any existing paint, which is great for me, because one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this whole boat, what's left of it, the paint job, and scuff this whole thing up and clean it really nice. And obviously we're going to do a paint job on it, but on the bottom, what's going to be different from this boat than the Top Gun John boat is this boat's going to get an epoxy bottom. Okay, I'm debating what brand I'm going to use. I think I know what I'm going to use, but I'm not going to tell you yet. And I don't know what colors I'm going to do. But I am going to seal the entire bottom of this boat in a 2-part epoxy. So there will be a video on that. And the reason being is, when I bought the boat, the gentleman told me it didn't leak. And sure enough, I would imagine that because of whatever this is, glue or caulk, not sure what it is all around these buck rivets. And I'm guessing they did this because, I don't know, some of them were loose. Or the other thing with this boat is, man, this aluminum is super, super thin. Like, walking inside of this boat is really sketchy compared to the 14-foot Grumman that I built last. I mean, this thing is super lightweight, but super thin, and it flexes, and you could tell how this is kind of how it warped and bent where your ribs are, and then how it's kind of caved in where there's no support. So anyhow, one of the things I'm going to do on this is the epoxy bottom and then a new paint job on the outside. That's going to be one of the first things I do. But the very first thing that I do is a new transom. This was also a selling point to me. Most people would probably deter from buying this boat because this transom is shot out. It's actually missing some parts that I'm going to have to refabricate out of some angled aluminum, but it has no wood transom. This is what's left of it. And then the guy even gave me the handle. I guess the handle is in my garage, so I do have the handle, but this thing is beat. So I guess I'm going to, I don't know, beat the snot out of it with a mallet, try to get it somewhat straight, and cut the top of it off with an angle grinder. And then we're going to build a new transom and stick it in there. The good thing is the support, or the brackets that mount the transom are still in place. And so we are going to do a transom on this one, and then obviously do some transom supports and tie everything into this middle bench. I'll gut this middle bench, but I will leave enough of it to tie it all together. I've already figured out what I like about the Top Gun John boat and how I want to implement some of those things in this build, and then what I want to change. So with that said, let's talk about the rest of the build. Some things I'm going to do different on this one, guys, is I've told you it's going to be ultralight. So we're going to frame this one out with angled aluminum. Going to run 1/16, and haven't used aluminum before, so I'm excited to be using a new material. I want to see how light I can really get this thing. This boat's going to be a performance-oriented boat, and what I mean by that is, if it doesn't help the boat perform, it doesn't go in the boat. So you're going to see a different build style on this boat. It's not going to have molded in stows. It's not going to have a lot of pretty details that the first boat had. Now it's going to have some details, but I'm not going to spend hours and hours and hours making things look really cool like a show boat. This boat is built to fish. Now it's still going to be as mint as I can make it. You can believe that. But this is going to be a performance-oriented boat. Another thing that I want to do on this one is we're going to do the casting deck, but I'm going to eliminate that bench. We're going to come further up with the deck. So it's going to have actually a longer casting deck than the Top Gun John boat. And I'm going to do a front mount trolling motor. So all my guys that were asking about where the trolling motor was on the Top Gun John boat, this one will have it. So this is going to be the Anthony Jones fishing boat. This is not going to be a family boat. This is not going to be a cruising boat. This is going to be a straight fishing boat. Throw it in the back of the truck and let's go. Also, with me throwing it in the back of the truck, we're going to do wheels on the back. Now, I know that you guys have seen a lot of videos on DIY wheel mods. I'm not doing, at this moment, I'm not going to do a DIY wheel mod. There's some prefab units. They're expensive, but they look nice. With me trying to build this boat in under 6 months, I'm going to need to purchase some prefabbed items instead of trying to build every single thing. So that's going to be one of the deals, but we'll do a video on the install on that, and we'll do show you how we do it and what I end up using. I got a way I want to do the decking, guys. I'm not going to disclose at this point how I'm going to do it. I got a lot of ideas. One of them, one idea I think I'm going to use, it's never been done. It's a hybrid technique is all I'm going to say about it, and you'll just have to wait for it. And man, what else? Probably do a lot of electronics in this one too, for night and day fishing. Multiple batteries. This boat will also be a hybrid. I'm gonna have it beefed up in the back to run my 4-stroke and a gas tank, but also run a battery in the rear, throw the electric motor on the rear, and then go to the electric lake. So this will be just like the Top Gun John boat. Guys, man, I think that's about it. Again, if you have any suggestions on what you think the color should be of this boat, let me know, because I'm still debating colors. And then also, we got to find a name for it, guys. So tell me what you think about what the old 12-footer should be. I know I'd said in the past one time the truck bed bandit, but I don't think we're going to go with that, guys. So let me know what you think about that. And that is it. Subscribe. Sorry I've just walked around this thing and talked for 10 minutes. But I wanted to do this video to introduce you to the project and kind of show you what the issues are. Again, we'll highlight the points real quickly. The bottom needs the epoxy, the rivets, we need to tighten those up and do what we can on that. Epoxy and seal the bottom. New paint job, new transom, beef up the transom, heavy duty style with some supports. Do a full casting deck, enclose the rear, and then obviously all of your other standard stuff. Now I'm going to put my own spin on all that, so you just have to wait for it. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for joining me on this introduction to the build. All my real cousins know, hey man, again, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at AWJones. Until next time, guys, may your tiny boat builds be great.